Hello, this is Lisa Schutz with the top 3 reasons companies are using handwriting analysis. First off, briefly, who am I? There are some of you that aren't familiar with me possibly. I'm a handwriting expert, a graphologist. I consult with a wide assortment of people and businesses, large businesses, small businesses, individuals. I am a workshop presenter and a conference speaker, and I'm also a writer. I have some different publications available through different outlets. So, what is handwriting? Here I just have some what we would call copybook or schoolbook models. And really, handwriting is brainwriting, and this surprises most of the people in my classes. Most people think, oh, the hand just writes the words, and our hand carries out the task of writing, but it's really our handwriting originates in our brain. It's through neural impulses in our brain. So just as you can think of an EEG recording brain waves, think of our handwriting as recording brain waves also. And here, if you're not sure of the terminology, handwriting is the same as graphology. So some information that we can get from handwriting, sometimes the list could be endless, but here's some of the major categories. We can do it for personality typing. We can use handwriting for information on communication style. Some people do jury profiling, personal growth, compatibility. You can see whether or not you're compatible with someone or where you might have some possible areas of friction. You can learn learning style, motivations, fears, defenses. And there's also specific business applications, which I will talk about in a minute, and etc. Because really, wherever there's the requirement for some human understanding, handwriting analysis can give you some tools. We say that handwriting is a crystallized gesture. It's really, our body language on paper. If you saw these 2 photographs, this guy, what he is doing in his body language, and this closet that someone produced, they kind of give you the same feeling. You kind of think that they're, kind of compulsive, very orderly. And what I want to share with you is when I see like handwritings like these 3 here, what I picture in my mind's eye is I picture them having a closet looking like this or being a neatnik like this gentleman, because there's certain qualities in their handwriting that tell me there's some perfectionistic qualities. The regularity with which the letters return to the baseline here, and the regularity in the slant is another clue. And there's much regularity, compulsively so, in this handwriting, very regular letter size and level lines of writing. So what I want you to take from this is our body language and our gestures that we create in the outside world. It's just the same with what we create on paper. Okay, let's say someone came in for an interview and they just happened to look like maybe these gentlemen. Now you're going to right away have some initial impressions from, if someone comes in with disheveled hair and not dressed real appropriately compared to like these 2 gentlemen, into how they might function in the workplace just by how they're showing up for the interview. And if I asked, are they high or low risk for conscientiousness, obviously these 2 gentlemen would be much more conscientious than these two gentlemen. So if you saw some handwriting, and I could ask you the same thing, are these handwritings high or low risk for conscientiousness? Now, most people get all of, they'll answer this all correctly. I'll show you some of who these people are. Thomas Edison would be a very conscientious person. We have a nice level baseline, clear spacing. The same with this writer here. There's clarity in this writing space. But contrast that with this, and this writing. These would be very risky employees if you ended up hiring them. And I can't go into all the reasons here. In my fundamentals class I can, but there's great irregularity in space, in form, in margins, in pressure. So those types of things give us many clues. Now, the top 3 reasons, as I see it, why companies are using handwriting analysis. Number 1, it's an efficient aid in sorting all the applicants. In the job market today, with so many people applying for so few positions, there's a flood of applicants coming in, and it really is a wonderful way to help sort out who's coming in. Let's say these 4 people came in, and the job was for, an executive job. They had to be a real leader. Now, all these 4 people are brilliant in their own area, but really one of them would really truly excel in a management position. So for the position here, JFK would be a more executive type leader. Picasso, a great artist, but his brilliance is in the art area. Charles Darwin's brilliance is in, a much more scientific area where you're working with data and not necessarily people. And Amelia Earhart, you can see in this wide spacing between the words and the lines, she has a real need for a lot of personal space and freedom. She would not want to work in an office. So it's a great aid in sorting your applicants. Number 2, it's very cost effective. It's very easy to administer. One nice thing is you can evaluate out-of-town candidates, before you might fly someone in or really spend money in the interviewing process. You can get a handwriting analysis. And another nice thing is applicants cannot train for this like they can train for their interviewing skills. There's some very skilled people that know how to adjust their behaviors and adjust their mannerisms. They know how to dress, etc. And they're very good interviewers, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're good employees. Number 3, it's very accurate. There's lots of tools out there, but when people are self-assessing, when they have to make some forced paired answers, or when they're trying to assess themselves, we just simply can't be objective. So with graphology, there's no subjective bias. It's totally objective. And I'd like to share a real case study here. This was an applicant at the medical college here in town. And, most people see this writing, when I show it in a class I give. And people like the writing. They say if they wrote like this, they wouldn't be embarrassed to have me see their writing. And the truth behind this applicant is, yes, her writing, there's a nice kind of looking quality to it, but to my eye, it's too perfect. And it's kind of a long story, but I had this organization do a background check on the person, And it turned out she had a police record 3 pages long. Now, she knew how to interview. She was impeccably dressed. Her mannerisms were impeccable. She knew how to answer the questions. She knew what questions kind of to expect. And they wanted to hire her on the spot because she was so good. And what I see in this writing, it's kind of it's a persona writing. It's a mask. It's not the true person. So the bottom line is it was a very effective way to get to the truth about this applicant. Now, a couple potential areas and additional possibilities for business uses include we can do a screen for leadership or management potential. There's a number of things we would score, qualities that go into leadership and management. And you'd get a report. We can also screen for possible red flags, like are there integrity issues? Is there risk for embezzlement or fraud, which is a big thing today with all the gambling that's going on and workplace theft. We can also screen for possible undesired behaviors, violence in the workplace, etc. So to summarize, handwriting is a crystallized gesture. It's really brainwriting. It's how we move on paper, tells us how we move through our life. And the top reasons companies are using this tool is it's efficient in sorting, it's cost effective, it's non-discriminatory, and it's very accurate in identifying the right person for the right job, as well as possible problem areas. And then we can also screen for different things such as management potential and possible red flags. Again, this is Lisa, and if you would like more information, there's a few things I'd like to share with you. Going up on Amazon Kindle shortly is a booklet on analyzing signatures. There's lots of bonuses if you so choose. My Facebook page, it's going to be done any day, so please visit this where you can kind of test yourself on these handwriting samples. I have videos on YouTube. My channel is just Lisa Schutz. I have a 99-cent publication on Amazon.com or Kindle. And then also I'd like to invite you to visit my websites. One is Lisa Schutz, where you can get more information. My blog is readinggestures.com. And on either of those websites, you can sign up for my Train Your Eye newsletter, where I send out just some interesting graphology tidbits and other information. So please, if you're interested, sign up. It's totally free. And my email is lisa@lisaschutz.com. So I thank you, and happy analyzing.